Jordan Love had an injury that occurred to the lower leg yesterday, and I'm going to break that down here in just a second. So what we're looking at here is basically what happens is he gets planted here and his foot gets kind of locked down. And I'm going to show you all the anatomy of this, but as this happens, he's getting a force towards the inside of the knee, and we see this little pop, and I think that's the thing that has everybody nervous is what we're looking at in that moment. So let's take a look at that again. So what we're seeing here is the legs planted. He starts to get pressure right through here. A lot of people were initially worried about an ankle injury with this, but what I think is happening is the ankle gets rolled over to a point where there's not a ton of stress right there, but he's getting a lot of stress to the inside of the knee, and we see a little pop that occurs here. Whenever we get a medial pressure, so where the pressure's coming from the outside, a couple things happen. We compress the meniscus and the structures here, and we stress the structures here. So the big thing that we see is the MCL, the medial collateral ligament, is what holds the femur and the tibia together. So when we have to open the knee up, this is what stops that from happening. And so when we look at the video of Jordan Love, one thing you see is that he gets a lot of pressure through here. Saw that pop. What most likely we were seeing is that the patella was being held in place because of the rotation of the knee. And then as he shifted, that patella popped all the way over. Now the structures that hold that there, we have this medial patellofemoral ligament that keeps the kneecap in place. We saw a big shift of that. I would imagine that we're gonna see there's some stress and some strain. That knee's probably pretty swollen. And then of course, we've got a lot of strain to the MCL. I would imagine that we're gonna see some of that stuff. A lot of people are worried about the ACL. The ACL runs from the back of the knee forward to the tibia. And what it does is stops the tibia from sliding forward on the femur. So when we get kind of hit from that, like outside to in, there is a stress to this. Now, a lot of times when we see that pop, we'll see the tibia jerk forward. We don't see that so much here. I think the pop looks like it happens from a very superficial place. So we see that very much on the kneecap itself, popping over the condyle of the femur. That doesn't mean we don't have a strain to the ACL. When we see a pop like that, that tells us that we're now on the ligaments instead of the muscle stabilizing the knee. There's certainly a possibility that we have an ACL injury right there, but my guess is going to be that it's going to be more MCL and some of the collateral ligaments and the meniscus than the ACL, and he avoided a major injury there. We're probably going to find this out here in the next couple of hours, so we'll see what my assessment looks like as it actually comes out. With these things, you're kind of watching the anatomy of it, and sometimes these things look terrible and they avoid injury. Sometimes they don't look that bad, and when you actually get in there, they actually have some ligament damage from it. But from the looks of it, this is what's going on. We have some strain to some of the external structures of the knee, which heal much better than when we get inside and look at like the ACL, the PCL, some of those deeper stabilizer ligaments of the knee. So fingers crossed, hopefully he does okay, but this is what it looks like we're dealing with. So good luck to Jordan, and if you have him in fantasy football, hopefully you have some backup options. He'll likely be out for some period of time.